From top to bottom, this is your roundup of today's Liverpool news. First thing that came in was a report from Mundo Deportivo that said Liverpool have had a £42 million bid rejected for Lille's Yoro, with the French club holding out for £50 million for somebody who wants to sign the defender. Now, I would say treat this with a huge pinch of salt. We can all say confidently that Liverpool are interested in Yoro. But why would we have bid if the players made it clear he wants to go? And also, if we did bid, why have none of the English media got any indication on this bid, nor the French media? It's only coming from Spain. And that makes me feel like, again, Madrid are fluffing the media to make this big play to go, well, Liverpool wanted him, and United wanted him, and PSG wanted him, and he chose Real Madrid. And they'll use that in their negotiating. They'll use that to hammer down Lille on the fee. They'll say, sell us the kid for a reasonable fee now, or we'll sign him for free in a year. And they'll win. And they'll get their player. So that's why I'm very dubious about that offer or the report of it. Next thing was just an update from Trent after his performance in midfield for England. He said it's physically demanding, but when you're playing with the likes of Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham and the others in and around you with an experienced back four, it helps. With Declan and Jude talking to you and guiding you through the game, it's hard to go wrong. He went on to say the manager and the staff, Steve Holland especially, we're put a lot of work into this. So I've prepared well and I did what was asked of me. And hopefully they think that as well because we got the win. Next thing up was Kvaratskhelia. And this is the mad news for me today. So there's always been tentative links to Liverpool and Kvaratskhelia. But there was also the whole will he leave Napoli stuff. Well, his agent and his dad have made it very, very clear what their preference is. His agent said this to Georgian TV ahead of the Euros kicking off. I don't want people to think that Kvaratskhelia wants to stay in Napoli. We want to leave, but we're waiting for the end of the Euros so as not to disturb him. The priority is to join a team that plays in the Champions League. We play in the Champions League. So for me, PSG are the only other major force that are at the table for Kvaratskhelia that we know of. His father, well, he backed up what the agent said. His father said, I don't want my son to stay at Napoli. They changed coach 3 times last season and it's hard to play in that situation. So that may explain the kind of up and down season that he had and the inconsistencies that Napoli had last year. They went from winning the Scudetto, having a good run in Europe, to looking like a pale imitation of themselves. We Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, or many other Napoli players. So my fear about Kvaratskhelia, and I've always said the same thing, is I haven't yet seen enough consistency. But for the right price, with somewhat of a leap of faith, could I see it being a potential? Yes. Because, again, he's exciting. I'm sure that he is in that category of player that Michael Edwards would feel can be improved and has a higher ceiling. So from that perspective, you've got to say maybe. The next thing was Pep Lijnders being keen on bringing a player from Liverpool over to RB Salzburg. That player is Vladislav Jaros, our number 3 or 4 goalkeeper, who could potentially become our number 2 if Kelleher departs. But what I didn't know until today was he's only got 1 year left on his deal. So Pep Lijnders wants to sign him for Salzburg. He's already played in that league, won it last year with Sturm Graz, won the cup as well. Now we may lose him unless the club get him to sign a new deal. So another one to keep an eye on there in the goalkeeping department. Then we had Fabrizio Romano saying that Brighton have made contact to start talks over Crescencio Somerville deal. He went on to say it's not an easy one. Many clubs are keen, but Brighton have started initial talks to explore this possibility. Liverpool and Chelsea have been monitoring him in recent months. It's still an open race. So Fabrizio saying it's definitely not a done deal. You know, he's not going to Brighton, but they've started the ball rolling. Then we got a good update on Alan Hansen from Graham Souness, which to me honestly is the best piece of news all day. Graham Souness has said, I spoke to Alan Hansen yesterday. He sounded fabulous, so I hope he's well on the way to a full recovery. He's definitely back because he did nothing but take the mickey out of me, which was great to hear. So yes, that's great news. And honestly, if nothing else today, that's positive stuff. Then there was a story coming out again of Spain and Mundo Deportivo to say that Liverpool target David Hanko has been linked with Leicester City, and now Atletico Madrid have come to the table. Again, I'm not sure how strong our interest is. Easy to make the connection because he played a Feyenoord with Arne Slot, obviously, and he's got a valuation of about £29 million or €35 million. So I wouldn't worry too much about that because I don't think he's really a target of ours. Next up is Mark Guehi from Crystal Palace, who absolutely is on the list of players Liverpool have looked at. Again, Sami Mokbel has said Liverpool are one of the clubs closely monitoring Mark Guehi ahead of next season. Another piece said that if he does not sign a new deal with Palace, which is what Palace want him to do, then he could be available for around £65 million this summer. They've also credited Manchester United as having an interest in Mark Guehi. I think this would be good business. Even at 65 million quid, I think it's good business. And he's a player that we know we've been looking at for a while. So I'd have no issues if Liverpool made that sign. And in fact, I think it would be a great piece of business. The next piece, again, is from Fabrizio Romano that says, Liverpool are there for Lenny Yoro. They're waiting to see what happens between Madrid and Yoro. We've spoken about this a bit, so I'll let you make your own mind up on that one. A bit of a mad one then came in from the Secret Scout that said, Liverpool are close to completing a deal for 16-year-old Alvin Ayman from Wolves. Reported compensation of £1.5 million if the deal goes through. Then next up was a report that came out to say Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Roma are all interested in signing Federico Chiesa of Juventus. He, of course, also has 1 year left on his contract, and it's thought that a fee of about maybe 25-30 million euro could be enough to get him out of Turin, but they'll report that he wants more, or they want more than that, but again, they're not in a great position. Another piece from Fabrizio said Liverpool rumour target Levi Colwill will only leave Chelsea if he asks to leave the club. Bayern Munich are more interested in signing Jonathan Tah, and he goes on to say that Chelsea have received no official offer yet for Levi Colwill from anybody. Just another reminder as well that on Tuesday 18th of June, tomorrow as I record this, the transfer fixtures will come out, the fixtures for next season will come out, and we'll know who we're going to play in what order, so keep an eye out for that dropping as well. And the Premier League has removed its team news embargo, meaning that we will now get team news 75 minutes before rather than 1 hour, given a few more minutes for us to know who's going to be starting in a particular game or not. But the big thing for me today is that if you're watching this, I want to know how concerned you are about the Trent situation. We conducted a poll earlier on, and it seemed like 80% of the Anfield Agenda audience felt like it was most likely that Trent would sign a new deal at the club. I wish I had that optimism. It's certainly the outcome that I want, but as of right now, it's not one that I feel I can say confidently is absolutely going to happen, because we don't know that. Also, on top of that, I would be surprised if we don't see Liverpool make... I'm putting myself out here a little bit, but I'd be surprised if we don't see Liverpool do something before the end of June. Mainly because of the whole profit and sustainability rules and the fact that clubs are going to have to free up cash. And Liverpool should be looking to leverage that situation to their favour, because we, of course, don't have any PSR or FFP worries. Over the 3-year period, you're allowed to lose 150 million quid. Liverpool lost 6 million. So we don't really have any concerns there. Or it's 105 million, sorry. Liverpool lost 6 million. So we've lots of wiggle room. Now it's over to Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes to get the ball rolling and get us a couple of signings, because we need them, and we need them soon. So that's the latest Liverpool news update. Over to you guys now.